Hi, I want to talk about this book, Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. I think it's important to talk about this book because when I read this book, it felt like I found the answer to one of my questions. And the question is, can people really get away from doing something really wrong? And I didn't even know I had this question because at the beginning, it felt like we've been operating under the assumption uh, that people do get away from doing bad things all the time, at least in the modern age. So by the end of the book, it felt like people don't really get away from doing bad things because they might be able to hide from the law, but not really from the individual conscience. But before I tell you why I came to think the way I did, I'm just going to assume that you have already read the book before watching this. So the main plot of the book is that Raskolnikov, he's a protagonist, comes to believe that he's a clever man and that he's above the law. And this kind of thinking led him to kill the awful pawnbroker and to forage through her house for the money. And while doing that, her sister walks in, the pawnbroker's sister. Her name is Lisa Vita, and he had to kill her too, and then he barely escapes the crime scene, and then somehow reaches the garret he lives in, and he just crashes on the sofa, um, and then and the next day he woke up and he's in an agitated way, just looking for the bloodstains in his clothes, and he hides the things that he has stolen from the place. And but to me at this time it felt like he actually committed the perfect crime, where the evidence against him is not substantial to incriminate him. And if not for the things that he did later in the book, I think he would have escaped from the law. So, for example, the first thing that he did was he was in quite the shock after he committed the crime, and for example, he wasn't really talking to anyone else unless people in the town started talking about unless someone in the room started talking about the murder. And um, and he the next day I think he was requested to be in the police station for a different reason. But when they started talking about the murder, he faints in the police station. And this one time he did talk to the investigator of this murder, and he almost gave away the fact that he was the one who committed the murder. He was so close to confessing his crimes. So it seemed like when he committed the crime, he went into this chaos of a world which he hadn't been before psychologically. And I think he just wanted to get over to get this chaos set in place, because I think it was just too much to handle for him, because he was potentially the enemy that the law enforcement is looking for. So now he believed that he was above the law, and he because he thought he was too clever, he established a tyrannical relationship with the rule of law. And I think in if you have a tyrannical relationship with anything, so the state has to be a tyrant and the individual has to be a rebel. And Raskolnikov was the rebel, and I think he won that battle. But the thing that he didn't consider was he was trying to win the same kind of battle with morality itself. uh, but I don't think that, because murder is like um, one of the central tenets of morality, at least in any civilized society, at least in this time, it's this period of time. So maybe it's different like thousands of years ago, but in a proper civilized society, there's no way that the individual and societal morality allows murder. So I don't think how he can win that battle. because I think the individual conscience plays a huge role in that. So when Raskolnikov tried to win the battle against morality itself, while doing that, he went really outright from what he is. So he kept driving himself to do the worst possible things. I think the main idea is about redemption here, which Dostoevsky brilliantly managed to tie it into a proper story. And the most important thing that I noticed is that if you think that you deserve to be, if you did something bad, I think it could easily make you believe that you deserve to be punished or something similar to that. So it got really interesting with what happens next, because uh, the because what happens next is that Raskolnikov goes to the police station to get his pawned watch back, and while doing that, the lead investigator Porfiry Petrovich, so he started interrogating Raskolnikov for the murder, because he started suspecting that Raskolnikov may be the murderer, and he started questioning him, and the situation got really intense, and it was quite palpable. You could feel the tension while just reading the book. And right then, Nikolay, he's the guy who was painting one of the buildings, one of the houses in the building where Raskolnikov committed his murder. Um, then he breaks into the room, and he's like starts confessing for this crime which he did not commit, obviously. So, and then the lead investigator had to let him go, and later he did meet Raskolnikov again, and he was talking. He said something really interesting, because I have never thought about it this way, because he says that Nikolay believes that he did something wrong, so he believes that he has to be punished. So he thinks that he is just using this opportunity to redeem him in some way. And I was really surprised by the way that connection was made, because at the small level you could do something really wrong to someone, and the least thing you could do is ask for someone's forgiveness. And with that forgiveness, now you could you could you could think of it this way: with your forgiveness, that if I did something wrong to you, and I could ask you for your forgiveness and be like, I think what it means is like, I did something wrong, but with your forgiveness, that we would let this be a part of the past and not bring it up again, is something. Maybe it's same, maybe it's not. This is what I thought about the book. And I know I did not explain the whole book, because the part I explained really resonated with me. So I thought this was the best part to explain. And also, I'm just assuming that people who are watching this might have already read the book. And because the idea that if you deserve to be, if you think you deserve to be punished, I, the book clearly illustrated that if you think you deserve to be punished, then you act in small ways that indirectly punishes you in the long run. That idea was quite clear in the book. And so I would definitely recommend this book to anyone who's interested in psychology, and understanding why people do the idiosyncratic things that they do every day. And anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. And thank you for watching the video.